Dirty trucking, dirty trucking, dirty trucking. 6 p.m. I haven't done 1 ounce of work today. Why? Because I just tried to extend my rental. As I stated in a previous video, I had a problem extending my rental because they had me on a do not rent list. When that happened, I was told by Hertz billing that I had to call the specialized rental team. They transferred me to them. The guy looked at my account, said he don't see what they're talking about this do not rent list. Claimed he saw another car on my account. He said, well, give me a few minutes, let me do this. He comes back on the phone, tells me to sign out of the app and log back in. This should be remedy the problem. I said, well, you're saying that, but I would like you to stay on the phone when I call Hertz Rental Extension Department. So he stayed on the phone as long as he could, but they took so long answering. So I said, well, if I have any more problems, I'll just call back. So they answer. Whatever he did solved the problem. I was able to extend the rental. Here we go now. Then they come up, got me on a do not rent list again, claiming I have a past bill from the week of November 27th, ending December 5th, for $140.52. And you know, rental companies don't do that. You can't keep a rental for the length of time that I've had mine if you owe any balance. That balance must be immediately paid. We all know that. We ain't stupid. But I'm dealing with a Hertz doing something fraudulent with my bank, Huntington Bank. These people are billing me and stealing the money. Now, I told you back around Thanksgiving, they ended up billing me $367.55 that I didn't get back. After that, listen to me good. When I reported that to Detroit police, I'm in the precinct with the officer, with a lady officer at the desk. She wanted to see the transaction, the way I made my payment. I said, it no longer shows it. That's what they've been doing. They've been making payments that I made disappear. So I want you to listen this good. When I was in the precinct, the only disputed amount I had at that time that they had billed me was $367.55. After I left the precinct, all of a sudden, this is a couple of weeks later, I go on my account. I don't know when I discovered it. $140.52 charge popped up on my account for back in December 6th. I'm like, where the fuck this come from? What is this? What is this? I want you to listen to this good. They are billing you and stealing the money. So, and I'm 100% sure of it. So, I disputed both charges with Huntington Bank. The $367.55 and the $140.52. That amount popped up out of nowhere. I'm telling you. I was in the police station. The officer was scrolling my ledger with the bank. I was signed into the account at the time. That amount was not there. Now, I don't remember the date I was in there. All I know is that $142. Well, I got to get the original police report when I made that report to see what date it is. See if I was in there prior to this posted to my account, showing up on my account, or I was in there before it showed up on my account. All I know, when I noticed that amount, it had a date on it. And then the date changed to another date. I remember that. So let me tell you what happened that week. I told you they took $367.55. The FBI, if you don't bust these people, I don't know what to tell you. They're running an operation here where they're billing me and stealing the money right from me. You're putting amounts on my account that wasn't there because they've taken the money So let's get the full picture of this. Now, when the $367.55 popped up on my account, I had to close my Huntington bank card out. Bank card ending in 6176. That's the bank card I've been using the whole time I was with Hertz up there. But see, Hertz tells me that they don't have the system where you can just go in like everybody else and update your debit card information. Told me they had to close the account out. I had to re-reserve the card. And then they start a new account, which took place on the 5th of December, which changed my payment date to the current date to Tuesdays now instead of Mondays. And it's been that way. They gonna put me on a do not rent list last week, claiming there was an issue with a car on the account. Now you telling me today, this week, I was trying to make the payment that was for Tuesday. Now you come up with this, I owe you $140.52 shit. I don't owe them nothing. They even got a printed invoice. But what's wrong with the invoice? Let me tell you what's wrong with the invoice. They got the wrong address on there. I don't know how you doing all this current business transactions with me with an address from when I was at Alden Towers. I didn't rent this car when I was at Alden Towers. I had been left Alden Towers a good year and a half now by the time I rented this car. I rented this car last year, August. It's been in it ever since. So you mean to tell me 4 months from December 27th rather, of that billing date, I'm riding around here 4 months making regular payments. And then all of a sudden you just think you're going to spring, I owe a balance on you 4 months later. Rental cars don't work that way. Hertz don't work that way. Enterprise don't work that way. All charges must be paid immediately. And you know that. They're running a scam here. So let me tell you where the scam came in. I remember that date. And when I get to the car and pull the invoice of the new account number that they created on December 5th, and if that payment amount is not what I know it should be, they went in their car and switched it to pull off the shit they're doing. Let me tell you what they did. Then she tells me, you're on a do not rent list. If you don't turn in the car, we're going to have it towed. Then told me that she reported me to debt collection. That's what the Hertz do not rent list people said. Wait a minute, what's their phone number? Because I'm going to put their phone number out there. Hertz do not rent list people. It's a DNR department that they have. Do not rent list. Their phone number. Let me find it. 405. Shit, I hope I got it wrote down where I can tell you. You do give me a minute. Because I like to have full details with the bullshit. All right, here we go. The phone number I was told to call was 405-384-8342. That's the number I was told to call after contacting Hertz through their customer support through the website. Then when I called the Hertz rental location, he got another number that's similar that I had to call. But he claimed it's 405-773-7591. And why I'm putting these numbers out there? Because I want the FBI to call the phone numbers. Call these people. This is supposed to be a DNR department. Do not rent list. They're running a scam here between Hertz, this Uber program, and the bank. Your bank. My bank. So, like I said, if I get to this car and pull this rental, you know, they give you the rental card when you rent the car. Got the amount on it, the charges, everything you just paid to go get that card for the week. If I go out there and see 140.52 on that damn card, somebody changed that card. and you came in the car to do that. You either did it here or you did it while I was out. I know for a fact, because I had to close out my Huntington Bank card, I went to the rental location in Clinton Township on South Gratiot. That's Hertz. They don't have the system where you could just update your debit card. That's what they told me. I had to come in, close the account out, and they keep telling you we have on hold $5,000 some dollars. This for the entire time you got the car. So they tabulate the entire time you got the car, talking about they got this amount on hold. And that's the first thing come out their mouth, because I didn't know what they were talking about. Because when he said it, I thought he was telling me I had to give them $5,000 to rent another car, to rent the car again. That's not the case. So, let me tell you what's going on. I go in there on the 5th, which was a Tuesday, because I had to have the card closed out, my original Huntington card. So I go in there with my new debit card. They close the account. He at the counter mentioning, well, we have 4,000 something on hold, and you have to have that amount in your account to re-rent. What are you talking about? I didn't have $4,000 in my account to rent the car in the first place. They're talking at you wrong. What they're doing is telling you the total amount that they have collected from you the entire time you had the rental, and talking to you like they have it on hold. It ain't on hold in my bank. As far as I'm concerned, when you get the payment from me, whatever you do on your end, it ain't on hold with me. You done removed it from my bank. Once I make the payment, how are you talking about you got all that money on hold? Well, maybe on your end, you got it stacking up until I turn the car in. So, somebody that interfered with me paying my rent. And this happens around rent time. Now you done come up when I'm on a do not rent list, and they not gonna let me pay the rent, the extend the rental until that amount is paid. That's what she telling me. In the meantime, you done interfere with me paying my goddamn rent here. Telling me if I don't turn the car in, they gonna tow the car. Then you told me you done reported me to a collection agency about an amount I don't even fucking owe. So I call the number, finally get through. These people take a long time to answer the goddamn phone. So I get through. She sends me an invoice talking to me while we can go over the invoice. We don't need to go over shit. I'm telling you, I don't owe this goddamn money. Don't no rental car let you owe a balance for 4 months and don't collect it for you to continue to rent the goddamn car. These people must think I'm fucking stupid. No rental car does that. These people are scamming. And these are all foreign individuals that I'm talking to on this phone. I don't know if they involved with this operation or helping to pull this operation off. Everybody I've talked to is foreign. Even when I had to call Huntington Bank to have them look up that charge, foreign answering the phone. You done came here running a guy. I don't know. I don't want to say you came here running a scam. I don't even know if they the ones running a scam. But all I know, they telling me this bullshit that is a scam. So I contact the bank. Foreign lady answer. I'm always getting foreign people when it's a problem. Always foreign. Nobody American. Nobody. I rented from Americans and they foreign speaking. I don't want to say they ain't American. They foreign speaking. I don't know what call center they calling from. You may be calling from answering my calls from a foreign country. I don't know. All I know, these individuals are foreign. Every last one of them. I can't get an American speaking person on the phone. Maybe once. If I make a video about I can't get American speaking individuals on the phone, all of a sudden if I got a problem, I call somebody, I get an American speaking individual on the phone. So, on the 5th of December, I go back in there. I had to re-rent the card to add the new card on there. I don't know why you just can't go in the system and put my new debit card on there. But that's what they claimed they couldn't do. So I had to come in there, put the new card on there. The amount I remember paying, I believe it was $288 and some change, or $289. And I told him my rental is usually $285. And he tell me, well, I'm not responsible for the fees, but this is what it is. Do we authorize the charges to your card? Yes. That's what I said, yes. And I pull out of there that day, because that day was Tuesday. My rental was due to be extended that Monday, but I couldn't because my card was closed out. I had to go up in there physically that Tuesday and bring up my new debit card, which I'm not going to disclose that bank because they might start this shit with that bank. So I go in there, I get this done, I pay to extend the rental past the 5th, going into whatever the next week ending that Tuesday is after December 5th. I pay for that. Tell me why I'm on my bank account. I don't see that I paid $280 something when I came in there on the 5th. I don't care if it posted on the 6th or 7th. It should be $280 something. So let me see what I do. Let me tell you what popped up on there. Out of nowhere. And I can't remember when it popped up, but I know it was during the time I was disputing that $367. It was after that was on there, because it wasn't on there. Because if that 140.52 had been on there at the time I saw the 367.55, I would have been disputing both amounts. It was not on there. So let me tell you what they did. I paid $280 something to rent that goddamn car. Somebody stole half of the money. You stole at least $148 or $49 of it, because I can't remember the exact amount. And if I go out here and get this rental invoice and it don't say $200 something paid, that's my proof. You can't have a partial day invoice. I didn't rent the car for a couple of days. I'm a weekly rate here. There's no way they'll be able to explain that. And I pray to God I go out this car and see that invoice don't say what it's supposed to say. Don't let it say $200 something. It's been saying that. All of a sudden, you want to tell me I owe you some money and I can't rent the car. What they doing is trying to stop me from paying my rent here. Telling me I got to turn in the car. I ain't got to turn in shit. I don't owe you shit. I shouldn't even be on a do not rent list. That's these people doing this goddamn shit. And they need to get the hell out of here. You hired these people doing this goddamn shit. Who is the CEO of Hertz? Who is the CEO of Uber? Do you know these people that you hired as your customer service reps is running a scam here through your service and stealing from people? They stealing the goddamn money. I'm telling you, I'm 100% positive. So let me tell you what they did. When that 140.52 popped up there, when I finally saw it, because I remember I was on the phone still disputing that 367, and I remember saying something like, this amount wasn't even on there. I don't even know where this came from. 140.52. I know where it came from because I made a payment on December 5th to rent that car for another week. That payment was $280 something. Because I remember the amount was a couple dollars higher than what I normally pay. It's usually $285 or $286. That should have posted on the 6th. And I believe it did post on the 6th. All of a sudden, now, why would I be looking back at December transactions? I wouldn't be. We're in a different month. I don't know when it popped up, but I know it did pop up. I'm still going through the investigation of the 367.55, which I still haven't got back. So, this amount that posted on the 6th, 140.52, it's not for no additional days. This is a worker that works for Hertz that has access to an invoice. You made my invoice appear that I was charged for additional days. That's what it says. It has one additional day. When it says on the invoice, one additional day is $65. You claimed I was charged for 2 additional days. On the invoice, it says 1. And let me end this video and look at the invoice again. Now I say 2. Then I see on there where they charge $215. They subtracted $215 for towing. This car wasn't towed. If you charged me for an additional day, should have been $65. You said 2 additional days. Your ledger says one additional day. And I'm going to attach, if I can pull this off, I'm going to attach the copy of the ledger without disclosing my information. But what's wrong with the ledger? I don't know. Every time I go in that facility, you got my old address on there. You got Alden Towers on there. My ID does not have Alden Towers on there. Where's you getting Alden Towers' address from? Why is Alden Towers on my Hertz account when I had them update my Hertz account because I had called Hertz to get my, what you call that, rewards number, gold number, or whatever it is, to log into my own account to prevent me from having to call them if they try to get the rental payment on that day and I didn't have the money in there. So I just go and log in and pay it myself instead of having to call them and wait on hold. She updated my email, my phone number, made sure everything was correct. She gave me my Hertz rental number. Tell me why when I try to put that rental number in, it don't find me on the Hertz system. But I got an account. It didn't find that number she gave me. But on this invoice, it got Alden Towers' address. This is what they doing. I paid $200, I want to say $288, $289, and some change. They stole half of it. Somehow reposted it to the bank. Because she told me, let me tell you what she told me. She told me the bank took the money back. Because after they told me I owed $140, I was like, who do I call? So I called the Hertz location. Then I called Uber. Uber said they can't do nothing with it. You get to go on the website. So I called the location back. I said, this has some error due to you. During that time, I had to go update my debit card. Well, we don't do billing. But you the one punching in all the numbers that day. You the one doing all these number things. But the Hertz telling me I need to turn the car in. They're going to be told. Why? If I have to turn that car in, I'm going to take you to court. And I'm going to bill you. I'm going to sue you from the day I got that car. Every rental car payment I made. I'm going to sue you. And then she talking to me about what I have to prove. You're going to have to prove. You're going to have to prove. That's why I know this is a scam you running. You're going to have to prove. You know what? I don't have to prove. I already got the proof. I rent weekly. I shouldn't have any invoice in my possession in that car saying I'm renting this car day by day when I'm on an Uber weekly rental program. That's the proof. And that's where you're finna get busted. See, they're going to watch this video and try to cover their tracks. But I'm putting this out. They're stealing the goddamn money. I paid $280-something, $89. They took half of it. So this has to be an individual that had access at Hertz. And you got to work at Huntington Bank. Or you have some type of access to log into a bank. You switched the amount to $140.52. Made it look like I paid the amount of $140.52 on the 6th of December. I didn't pay $140.52 on December 6th. Why would I be paying that? I would be paying to extend it for a week. That's where the proof come in. I would be paying to extend the car for a week. Nobody's going to believe that I have a balance dating on November 27th, and I've been riding around in this car 4 months prior up until now, and you just now put me on a do not rent list for a balance. I don't have a balance. I looked on the invoice. It is dealing with that red Toyota I got. It's got license plate number, everything. This is scammy running. I've already paid you for that car. And the weekly weight was $280-something, not $140. So I'm telling you, this is a theft ring working with Hertz. They are employed at Hertz. They are employed at Uber. And they are employed at the bank. And they're stealing the money. They're changing the amounts that I paid on my bank's end. And they took over half of the money. You had to steal about $148, $149. Made it look like I only paid $140. But there's no justification for the $140. Then you got somebody on Hertz end that's generating invoices to match what they just posted in my account, the 140.52, the cover that you ripped me off for $149. You got somebody to create an invoice saying that I had the car 2 additional days, and that's what the billing was for. But you can't prove that. And it's nonsense because I'm a weekly rate. If I had it 2 additional days, that means I turned the car in. She said, you turned the car in. No, I didn't turn the car in. It appears I turned the car in because the rental location in Clinton Township told me that's what I had to do to update my debit card. I had to bring the car in and re-reserve it for them to create the new account to put the new debit card on. That's all they did. The amount that came up on their computer when I was in there was $288. That's what I paid that location with my debit card. I paid them $288 and drove up out of there. And I've been paying the same weekly rate ever since. On Tuesday, it was just these past 3 weeks, it's been an issue. The first issue, they talking about my account was on hold. That's why I couldn't extend the rental because of a maintenance issue. Take the car back, turn it in, get another one. So I called the location. We see the problem is when you had the oil change. Somehow they didn't get the paperwork. So they got the hole removed. But it took hours to get the hole removed. They kept saying it was removed, kept telling me it kept popping back up. It keep popping back up. How do you remove it and it keep popping back up? He's frustrated. I'm frustrated. He said, you just don't know how much I want this matter to go away. Let me fix this. I done called them at least 3 times that day about that. Finally got it fixed. I made the payment. Next week, now I'm on a do not rent list. I got to call Uber's specialized car rental team. Uber's program. Uber program looked into it and said they saw another car on the account. That's what he said. He didn't see nothing about me on a do not rent list. I see another car on the account. He said, let me do this. I want you to sign. And then when he came back to the phone, he said, I want you to sign off and sign back on. This should eliminate the problem. I ended up calling Hertz Rental Extension Department. That 877 number, I didn't give y'all that number. It's an 877 number that comes up in a text message for the rental extension department to call if they can't get the money. They tell you to put the money, because the rental extension department has an automated message that tells you to make sure you have the funds in your account because you're doing automatic debit. If you don't have the funds in the account and we can't get the funds, it tells you that we will send you a message about why we couldn't get the funds and what you need to do. Both of my messages, both 2 weeks, this week and last week, messages said that the money wasn't in the account. And it had the right amount I was supposed to pay, the $285. Then it'll switch to $286 after saying something about it. They making all this shit disappear and vanish right here on the phone. 1 minute it said $285, but then when I get ready to pay it, it said $286. And then when I go back to look at the text message I said, seeing that said $285, it now says $286. They're stealing. And you got me out here. Can't make a payment to extend this rental because you claim I owe money I don't owe. They're stealing the money. I'm telling you, that's what they did. They stole the fucking money. Now I'm going to have to get my clothes on, go out to the car, and get the invoice. And if that amount don't match what I know I paid that day, you switch the invoice. So this is a big time operation. You got somebody that will switch the invoice just like they switched my journal. You got a switcher involved. You got an inside man on one end, an inside person on the other end to pull this shit off. If when I go out to this car, that invoice don't say I paid $280 for that full week. Because let me tell you something. It don't even show it on my bank account. I made that payment December 5th. The post date probably would have been December 6th, latest 2 days later. It don't even show I paid $200-something. That's what the officer said. Where it show you paid $200-something? And that part of the week I went in there to dispute the 367 to Detroit police. Never dawned on me. I told the officer, it ain't on there. But I know I made a payment. It ain't on there. It wasn't on there then. But the 140 hadn't popped up yet. They was in the making of doing this little scam. So you're going to wait till 4 months later. Tell me I've been riding around here making payments. Hertz ain't told me. They billing department ain't told me I owe no money. They just conjured this up. They interfere with me paying my rent. My rent is late. Because of what they did on the 6th. I'm still trying to play catch up. Now you're going to tell me I got to turn the car in because I'm on a do not rent list for money I don't owe. That you covering up, and this is a theft ring. You are stealing the goddamn money. This dirty trucking out. They stole the money, created a fake invoice to cover up what they did. You stole you stole at least $148 from me out my bank. Because I know what I paid when I re-rented this car on the 5th of December. I remember that goddamn day. I didn't pay no $140. I remember that damn day. So now I got to go out to the car and look for this invoice.